All right, you know what it is. Diddy got another one. Diddy got another SA charge against him. That's what we're going to speak about. I'm going to break down, where this behavior came from, how this has been in, the urban community for years, and follow this all the way to the end. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. Let's get this thing moving. All right? All right, unique Mecca audio. You know what I mean? You already know what it is. Check it out. I'm going to break it down to you, man. Puffy got another one, all right? He got another one. Y'all say that I'm defending Puffy. I'm not defending Puffy. I'm just speaking on the street code, the principles, and how things were in the hood back then. And I don't agree with it now today, so let me say my disclaimer, but I'm just going to break it down. I'm going to give it to you raw because this is a gangster channel, all right? So if you don't want to hear it raw, if you got sensitive emotions, if you a troll, a rat bastard, a flip-flop wearing in public clown, I'm telling you now, I'm giving you 3 seconds to tap out because it's going to get raw. Take that with you on the way out. All right? Now, I already told y'all I'm burnt out, I'm twisted, I'm all screwed up in the head. You know what I mean? But this is what running the streets do when you have no guidance. When you have, no civilian morals and principles and don't care about nobody but yourself and your own desires, Now, back in the day, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to ride right now. I'm going to ride today. This is Thanksgiving weekend, so I'm going to ride. Let me tell you, back in the day, man, listen, when we on the street, it don't matter if you get money, you know what I mean? It don't matter if you dead broke. It don't matter if you in high school. It don't matter, you know what I mean? If you even an adult, I'm just keeping it 100 so y'all can hate me all you want. I'm going to give it to you raw. Bottom line is we had something back in the day we called running a train on females. It was wrong. Let me say that, but it's something we did. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm keeping it 100. It's something we did. And I say we meaning, us from the urban community. So let's just keep it 100. Now, I'm going to tell you one. You know what I mean? My man, right? My man invites me over his house. Dude that brought me out on the street. I must have been about 13, 14 at the time. So I'm over there in Brooklyn, over there on, was that Jefferson between Sterling and Park, I was in Jefferson Avenue down there. No, my bad. That's Schenectady between, Park. I was over there between Wyckoff and Irvin, in the Bushwick section. So, my man that brought me out, my cousin, he had a little basement apartment that his mother had for him because his mother used to work upstate New York as a live-in maid. That's what Jamaicans did. And she left the basement apartment to him and his brother. So he had a little room with a curtain. So I go over there to go see my man, and, it was a school day. So everybody, cutting school, he had this little girl over there that was all on him, and she wanted to give it to him real bad, so he decided to hit it. He takes her in the basement, you know what I mean? I'm over there chilling. I'm in the back. I'm watching TV. I'm smoking some weed. We just bagged up some Arron, just keeping it 100. You know what I mean? And, we crushed it up in the grinder, and we did our thing, and we get ready to go take it over there on Schenectady. That's when I run with the yard man, them, the gully posse, see? So we all do our thing, right? So he's over there, and now, we was underage at this time. Like I said, I was 14, so I'm just giving to you raw. We 14 years old, and where did we learn this behavior? You know what I mean? But like I said, the girls was underage, and we was underage at the time. But this was what was in the community, so you understand. Now, my man in the back, he digging a back out, you know what I mean? So now, he comes out the room after he done it, and he tell me, yo, You know, the pum pum good, I go on and get some. You know what I mean? And I'm a kid. I'm 14. I ain't never run no train on no female. So, you know, he said, man, just go in the room and, you know, get on top of her. You know? So I'm keeping it 100. I ain't gonna do no faking so y'all can get me for the Me Too also with the bull crap. You know what I mean? But, you know, so I go in the room, you know. So when I go in the room, I sit on the side of the bed and she under the covers and, you know, I sit next to her and I touch her and I start talking to her and she pulled away. When she pulled away, I was like, whoa, you know what I mean? So she's like, nah. And my cousin is in the other room. So I go out there and I go see my cousin. And I say, yo, I go in there and she said no. And he's like, what you mean she said no? She can't say no. You supposed to just go in there and jump on top of it and just bang her back out. And I'm like, dude, you know, I'm keeping it 100. I'm like, yo, dude, that's rape. You know what I mean? How you expect me, you know, to do that? You know what I mean? So, you know, I had to keep it real. I wasn't on that type of time because I was a kid and I didn't learn this behavior. At this time, I'm going to school in Jersey. I'm living in the Bronx. So I wasn't as advanced on the street thing the way it went. So when I go in there, he tell me, nah, you're supposed to go in there and jump on. I'm like, dude, I can't do that. The girl said no. He said, man, she can't say no. I said, what do you mean she can't say no? He said, man, yo, you're supposed to just go in there and jump on her. And I said, nah. So he go in the room, he talked to her, and he telling her, yo, that's my little cousin come up from the Bronx, give him some pum pum. And she's like, nah, I don't even know him. The lights is out. I don't even know what he looked like. And he said, what difference it make? Am I a cock? You know what I mean? Just shut up and satisfy my cousin, you know? So he calls me back in the room, and the girl's sitting there, and she's crying. And he's telling me to ignore her tears. How could me as a human being ignore a female crying? A female saying no. You understand? She's saying no. And she's crying, and he's telling me, man, screw that, jump on her. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. You know what I mean? So now, you know, I get up, I leave, I go out. He teased me like a mother. All the other homies came over. We bagging up, the girls still in the back. And we bagging up the Arron and doing our thing. And then all of a sudden, they start snapping on me. They said, well, I saw on the Bronx picnic arc. On the Bronx picnic an awful move. You know what I mean? He's supposed to just jump on her. You know? And I'm like, nah, dude, I'm not going to do that. The girl said no when she crying, man. What you want me to do? You know what I mean? He said, man, what do you want you to do? She ain't got a choice. She came down here. She know what she came down here for. I said, nah, but she's saying clearly that's not what she came down here for. So what you expect me to do? And they laughing at me, and they rode me for about a year and a half. You know what I mean? Every time them see me, they say, my unique soft. I can't believe I'm going to take the boom boom when the man off from the boom boom. And I'm like, you know, I'm getting pissed off. You know what I mean? And I'm feeling away because they really hammering me because I didn't rape this female. They're hammering me because I didn't have sex with her, is what we called it back then. But even back then, at 14, I knew it would be rape. You understand what I'm saying? So they always tease me about it. So then they started calling me, you know, I got a new nickname from them from that. They started calling me Brainy. You know what I mean? Because, you know, my name, you know, was Wayne. My name is Waynesworth. So they used to call me Wayne for short. You know, so being that I'm trying to explain myself how it's rape and I'm not going to do that, this and that, they started saying, man, come on, Brandon, stop your foolishness. Y'all think too much, pon. You supposed to just jump on the thing and just push a cock in iron. I said, nah, nigga. So they started calling me Brainy. So when I'm driving, I might be driving the Volvo or the BMW, you know what I mean, 528, and the police pull us over, and being that I knew how to speak American real good, I'd be like, yeah, ma, and I was a kid, guys, I was 14. I'd be like, nah, my cousin taking me to school, we was late, and I'm speaking for him. And the police would let us go, because this is a time when, you know, you didn't have to have a driver's license to drive. All you had to have was any kind of ID. You know what I mean? I don't know. And they didn't have no computers to run the ID. But if you show them an ID with your picture on it, they'll let you go. They didn't even care if you had insurance or not. So they started calling me Brainy. You know what I'm saying? But in Jamaica, it's called Brandon. They'll be like, yo, Brandon, where out there? Wait, Brandon, come take this ride with me, because if the beast them stop me, we need you for chat to them. You know, and that's how they used to move, you know? But that's what a train is, you know? And then when I got older, you know what I mean? You know, they started doing something as far as, a female giving, You know, and I'm just keeping it 100, man. I mean, I know y'all don't like this, but I don't give a crap what you rap bastards and troll feel. I'm just giving the youngins a history so the females know and the males know not to do this, you know, and how it was back then. Remember when Snoop Dogg first came out, they had the joint, bitches ain't nothing but hoes and tricks. You know what I mean? And it ain't no fun if your homie don't get none. You know what I mean? Remember all those days? That was the norm in our community. That's when C. Dolores Tucker stepped in and started saying that Death Row and Tupac was defaming women and, you know, all this stuff that it was violating women and things like that. And, you know, she went after them. But where she messed up is, she messed up because she wound up filing a lawsuit saying that from Tupac attacking her, you know what I mean, about her trying to get Death Row on RICO charge. Death Row was involved in all that too back then. You know, from the lyrics, you know, this is when the lyrics was wild. This is when they had, I think it was Ice-T that had the joint Cop Killer when he did that little rock and roll song. So we had Cop Killer, and they tried to ban it on Warner Brothers, and C. Dolores Tucker tried to ban, you know, Snoop Dogg and Tupac and Death Row from all the defaming women stuff that was going on. But all it was doing was just putting what was going on in the hood, in the media, and C. Dolores Tucker, as somebody that's not from the hood, was hearing this and was appalled, and she tried to make a rightful stance to stop it so it wouldn't get, you know, out of hand 20, 30 years later. And from her doing that, and then Bill Clinton coming in where he had, you know, got oral sex, you know, from Monica Lewinsky. Right? When he came in and got oral sex from Monica Lewinsky, and she was like 21 years old, so she was of age. We already know that, but he was an older man, so they made a big thing about it. But how about Tony Randall? See, I'm saying these big names because I know the history because I lived it. How about Tony Randall? Was 72 years old, had a baby with a girl that was less than half his age. You know, 72 and still had a baby, you know? But it was nothing wrong with an older man in Hollywood being with a younger woman. You know what I mean? So that's where it was at. But see, Dolores Tucker really went to hammer them on it. So, you know, a girl might be, you know, like I said, remember, it ain't no fun if your homie don't get nothing. So if a girl gave you good head, you know what I mean? You're going to call your homie, be like, yo, she get a bomb head. And, you know, before you know it, she giving you and your man head together. You know what I mean? And I know all y'all sitting there saying, oh, but you put your joint in her mouth, if she had it in this mouth and that mouth. But you got to remember, I'm just keeping it 100, giving y'all the history on this so you understand this Puffy situation and where this mentality come from. So you got it where everybody is on some, it ain't no fun if the homie don't get none. You know, so it was nothing to degrade women. But Washington started making laws after the Bill Clinton situation to let, you know, people know that, you know, if an older man get with a younger woman, that he's taking advantage of her and da-da-da because her mind is not fully developed. But let that, you know, let that same woman, you know, God forbid, if she would have took Bill Clinton's life, they would have locked her up and treated her like an adult. You know what I mean? If she would have did that. But being that it was about something that he did to her, you know, now she became the victim. But if she would have reacted and took his life, she would have became the criminal and would have gotten time. Now, you know, I seen the lawsuit from this new girl, right? I think her last name is Dawkins, you know, where she alleged a lot of things about Puffy. Not saying they true, they not true. I don't give a crap because y'all talk about, oh, I'm defending Puffy. No, I'm just telling you how the culture works from an OG. You understand what I'm saying? Now, she said that back in 91, they did this and that, and, you know, he drugged a drink. Yo, listen, back in 91, they had no drugs to put in drink that I knew of or that we knew of in the hood other than Spanish Fly. You know, my old heads know about, y'all old heads know about, you know, Spanish Fly, where, you know, you put that in a girl's drink and it's supposed to make them freaky. You know, a lot of the homies said it didn't work that tried it. But that's all they had, you know, that we knew about. I'm sure they had pills for people in different classes. But in 91, Puffy was still in school. You know what I mean? So I'm sure he didn't know about no pills because ecstasy and all that, I didn't hear about the ecstasy and all that until I got locked up. And I was there. And this was all the way in 2005, 2006. I met a dude from Louisiana. Big shout out to my man Kid. He was breaking it down to me how they was out there taking ecstasy now. 'Cause I always talk to the younger dudes to find out what's going on in the community and in the world. So like they got some pills called ecstasy, and you know what I mean? They take it and they say the females even put it in their rectum, but because they say it goes up faster. You know what I mean? You know, the sexual urges go up faster. And I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on out there? So my man had pictures, and I'm looking at the pictures of him in the club and him hanging out, and it was like a girl with her face twisted like, you know? And she's sitting there taking a picture, and she thinks she's smiling, but her face is twisted from the ecstasy. I said, yo, what's that? He said, man, that's how that X do it. It frees you up and anything you touch, you know what I mean? And you know, it's, yo, it's just crazy, man. Now, this may be where Puffy got this from, because that's what was going on back, you know, when we was teenagers and came up into adulthood, and there was no laws for it. But then now they make these laws, and anything you do, a female could go at you and say that you did this and that, not saying they didn't. And 9 times out of 10, even back then, you know, a lot of that was consensual. You understand? Because like I said, the girl said no, and I stopped. I'm just keeping it 100. Man, I drop dead if I'm lying. You know what I mean? The girl said no, I stopped, you know? And I got ridiculed for about 18 months for that, because I didn't have sex with her, as them say. So you never even have sex with the gal, and the gal sit there with her pum pum wide open, and she butt naked in the man bed. And I'm like, nah, but she said no. And they're like, see, Brandy, y'all was trying to explain to her, I think too much. She didn't have a choice to say no. Because back then, it was like, you know, dudes felt like a woman didn't have a choice. But my mother always told me that you don't take away a woman's choice to choose if she want to deal with you or not. So you let her know, I got a woman, I got a kid, you know what I mean? And I just want to screw you, or I just want some head, you know what I mean? And it's up to her if she choose to do that or not. Never take a woman's, you know, right away from her to choose. So I've never really into the train thing and all that. But now I ain't even gonna front. It was times where I got with female. I'm gonna tell you another one. You know, we like to ride, you know, and it's Thanksgiving weekend, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna give you another one. We sitting in the crib. My man had this little light-skinned girl, you know what I mean? And she famous, you know, right now. My man had this little light-skinned girl, and she up there, and she really wanted me, because I was the man, and he was just the worker. But he was the one that was dating her. So when she get up there, she kept looking at me. So I called my man in the room. I said, yo, you see how shorty looking at me? She trying to go. You care about her? Because I ain't going to go see her behind my man back, because we don't do no sucker shit like that. So when I told him that, I said, man, you care about her? And he's like, you know, nah, man, I don't really get her. I said, all right, well, look. I said, you hit the thing yet? You hit the box yet? He's like, nah, she ain't give me none. I said, all right, well, you know, let me take charge then. So I go out there and I talk to her, and I tell her straight up. I say, look, obviously you want me. I see the way you looking at me, and I'm willing to give you this. You know what I mean? But you got to give my man something too, because it ain't no fun if the homie don't get none. You know what I mean? So she was like, you know, so you going to give me something if I give him something? I say, yeah. You know? So, you know, I get it and I start, you know, sucking on the breast, you know. So, y'all, I'm going to give y'all 3 seconds to tap out. You know what I mean? So you don't think it's perverted or nothing. I'm just keeping it 100. All right. Take that with you on the way out. All right. So, my man, I'm sucking on the breast. And my man playing with her middle section, and he doing what he got to do. You understand what I'm saying? And before you know it, you know, we both had sex with her. I'm keeping it 100. We both had sex with her. Everybody was of age, and this is something she chose to do, because she said that she wasn't giving my man none unless I get some. So I told her it ain't no fun for me to get none if my man don't get none, because my man had you first, met you first. You know what I mean? So if I'm going to give you something, you got to give him something. She wanted to get with me so bad, she was like, I bet. So we both wound up, you know, running a train on her. You know what I mean? But that was a voluntary train. You understand what I'm saying? Just keep it 100. But, you know, nowadays, you know, a female will voluntarily do just that. And then somebody get in their ear and say, you know, there's a law that you could take them to civil court and sue him and get some of them, kilo money that he got. You know what I mean? So there was nobody to do that back then, so we didn't have none of that to worry about. But now, this for Puffy. Yo, let me get in the camera and talk to Puffy. You know what I mean? Because y'all think I'm defending him. You know what I mean? I'm not defending nobody. I'm just speaking the facts, what it is, and giving it to you from a gangster point of view. Now, Puffy, what we did in the 90s, that was the norm, is no longer the norm in 2023. Look at Arron Hall. Arron Hall turns around and he gets with Gloria Velez. I was locked up when he got with her. I'm in Lewisburg, right? And they used to send pictures of this bad Spanish girl, and this is when light-skinned girls was the it in the community. But now, since I've been gone and all the races started mixing and it became a melting pot, you got beautiful complexion, beautiful women with long hair, even dark-skinned women blacker than me with natural long hair where they don't need a weave. You follow what I'm saying? So, we get with these females. You understand what I'm saying? And Arron Hall got with this girl when she was 16 years old. Back in the 90s, that was the norm. I even had a young girl came up to me, was 15 going on 16, body was built like she was 28 years old, and she wanted to give me the box. And I said, nah, come on, man, you ain't even of age. I just saw her brother-in-law the other day on 25th, and he brought this up. That's how I remembered it. He said, man, that was real fire the way, you didn't take advantage of my little sister-in-law because his girl was running around trying to keep her away from dudes that had the bag because she was trying to get the bag. You understand? But her mama came to me and told me, yo, my daughter said you won't have sex with her because she's underage, but I'm letting you know that it's all right. I consent to you having sex and you can get with her and da-da-da-da, and you got my blessing. You know what I mean? And I'm like, nah, come on, man. I said, yo, I wouldn't, and I had a daughter. At that time, I had 2 daughters. You know what I mean? So I said, nah, I got daughters. I wouldn't want nobody to do that. You know what I mean? So then she said, I don't care what her father said. So then now I start hearing stories about her father, saying that, I better not talk to his daughter. Now, that sounded like a challenge and made me want to do it. But what I did was I pulled up on Pops. I said, look, my man, check it out, right? Your wife gave me permission to get with your daughter. I'm not going to even violate, your daughter like that, much less you as a father, because I wouldn't want nobody to do it to me, But I tell you this story so you understand that it was so normal in the community, and y'all watching this know, because we got a lot of older people watch this with me. You already know, back then, a dude 21, 22 with a 16-year-old with a grown body, a 17-year-old grown body, that was the norm. And we knew that that female was underage, but we took it as acceptable. But then I go to jail and I come out and then I see now they're really running it like a moralistic society like they should. And these are the things that's coming back to hurt these men. Puffy, when you started getting that bag, you understand what I'm saying? You should have been elevating yourself, with society to know what the do's and don'ts and rules are, and that things change when there was no protection in the hood for the females and we could do what we want to do with the females and there was no repercussions, Now, for you to be accused of this when you get into your adulthood, not saying that none of it is true or not, but one thing I don't like is that on social media, anything that they put on social media is true. Look what Charleston White did. He put a joint up there that he got beat up in a barbershop and everybody just ran with it, started making videos. You know what I mean? Even put like a Band-Aid on his head or something like that and say he got busted in a barbershop and they whooped him for talking crap and they finally caught up with him. And it was his own video he put out. And all these major YouTubers went out, Charleston White got beat up, Charleston White got beat up in a barbershop. Nobody even did any fact checking or due diligence. And that's the same thing going on right now with Puffy. So don't say I'm defending them. What I'm saying, because these females put something on paper that may very well be true. Definitely not defending it, saying it's not true. But is everything true? But if even one part of it is true, it's a violation of a woman's rights. If one part of these allegations that's coming out is true, it's a violation of a woman's rights. And yes, she should be compensated. End of story. Now, look, I'm going to give you another one. I like to ride. I was watching one of those one of those, what they call it, one of those court shows the other day, where it was, it's an interesting story. It was a Chinese lady on it, because y'all might have seen it. It was a Chinese lady on the show, and her husband, you know, just died, and the young girl that was the maid, she was bad, very bad, you know what I mean? She was of age, like 25, 26, but, and the dude was like maybe 60, you know? Well, she was having sex with the dude, and while she living there, the wife didn't know about it, nobody knew about it, and then the husband died. When the husband died, on the day of the funeral, the maid, the young girl that the husband having sex with, she walks in the funeral and she's pregnant, and she says, your husband been having sex with me. I'm pregnant with his baby, and I need to make sure I'm in the will and I'm going to get paid. And this woman was like, my husband would never sleep with you, you little hussy. And she's pregnant with this baby from the husband. And the mother is saying, it's not my husband's baby. And she was steadfast on, this is a 60-year-old woman, said my husband would never violate like that, you know? And they did a paternity test and come to find out that it was the husband's baby. Now, to make it even worse, the lady was suing them in court. The reason why they was in court, in a small claims court, is because the lady worked for the month and was supposed to get $2,300 for the month, and the maid that was screwing her husband, and the mother decided that, you know, the wife decided not to pay her. And said, no, I'm not paying you nothing. You done screwed my husband. You violated the contract. So me and my sister was watching this. This was on Thanksgiving Day. My sister's a lawyer. So we watched this, and my sister was appalled because she's a straight citizen. Oh, my God, you know? And she said, I can't believe she's suing the lady want to get paid after she done screwed the man's, you know, the lady's husband. And I said, but sis, she worked for that. You know what I mean? She worked for the whole month. So my sister said, yeah, and she did more than work too. I said, yeah, she got a bonus. You know what I mean? But I'm teasing my sister because I like to get her riled up because she old civilian and she's an attorney. So I said, no, but, you know, she got a bonus, you know, and he got a bonus. Fair exchange is no robbery. And she said, see, that's that street mentality. I said, nah, sis, listen, man, bottom line, if the girl worked, why she shouldn't get paid? She said, because she violated the contract. That was the lawyer in her. She said she violated the contract, you know? So I said, but why? She still worked, you know? And I'm messing with my sister, you know, but I 100% agree with my sister, but I just like to play devil's advocate, you know what I mean, to listen to her talk that legal jargon because I'm so proud of my sister. So my sister said, Unique, look, there's a contract. When she agreed to work for them, she knew what her duties was. When she stepped outside those duties, they had every reason and right to fire her. So there was no reason for her to expect to get paid. I said, but sis, she worked for the 30 days. She said, yes, and she violated the contract within that 30 days. So she ain't supposed to get paid. I said, oh, man, come on, sis. You know? And my sister looked at me. She said, Unique, you for real? I said, nah, you know I'm messing with you, sis. You know what I mean? That girl is supposed to get a goddamn diamond. And for real, that lady's supposed to take that lady's eye out. And, you know, back in the day, no disrespect, who knows what would have happened to that lady. She might even have got a beat down. You know how they say you don't fight pregnant women, but something like that, you know, you read about that all the time back in the day where, you know, the wife of the person that slept with the kid, they beat the kid out the thing. Yeah, look, let me change that topic because you don't know how these rat bastards and trolls is going to play on it. But this is just how it was in America. Yo, R. Kelly had a baby with Gloria Valdez and was dealing with it when she was 16 years old. Back then, that was the norm, you know? But then he goes on Vlad in the 2020s and says, yeah, you know, I was schooling when you were 16. I just saw her. I stuttered. I didn't do this. And I just grabbed her by the hand and I took her in a room and da-da-da. But, dude, she was a child. Did you forget that? Arron, did you forget? He even said that she was a puppy. So you knew she wasn't a full-blown dog trick. You know what I mean? You trying to turn her into a dog trick and treating her like she's full-grown, and she's not. She's, like you said, a puppy, and you should have respected that. Now, this come back, and I know right now, Gloria Velez is probably sitting there like, damn, the year ran out. I can't sue him and get some of that little crumbs that he got because he don't have nothing there what Puffy got. So, you know, in a way, Puffy's blessed. He ain't get mad at me. Puffy's blessed, you know, because they put a cap on the suits, so he just got to deal with this one. But when it goes in, when they go to trial, if there's something like that go to trial, they're gonna bring in all these people to say this and that. And now, what is to stop this female from turning around and saying something real slick like, "Yo, Bob, I need you to come and say that you was there and you saw the videotape with Arron Hall having sex with me." You know what I mean? And, you know, because him and Puffy recorded it. And then when I get these millions, I'll break you off 500,000, 200,000, or even $1 million. And she get a bunch of people to corroborate her story, and they march in the courtroom, and everybody's going in an agenda. That's the same way they do it in criminal trial when they grab these rat bastards and tell them, say Unique did this, say Unique did that, but I don't know Unique. You want to do life in jail? You know what I mean? Hell no. Unique did it, Unique did it, Unique did it. What else you want me to say? Bring me everything what you say Unique did. And this is the way it works in criminal court, and this is the way it also plays out in civil court, because everyone finds a way to manipulate the system. Yo, Puffy, right now I'm going to say a prayer for you, because like I said, yeah, I'm saying a prayer for Puffy, so you rat bastards say something, because bottom line is, he's still a black man that made it. The Kennedy allegedly had sex with a young girl underage at their house in Long Island, and they kept that under the rug and kept that man out of jail. And here go our people saying, lock him up, and they're trying him and convicting him, you know what I mean, on social media. So when they have a trial, those are going to be the same people that's going to be a jury from that, you know? And again, I'm not saying that the man is innocent. Definitely not saying that. I'm just letting y'all know that I don't agree with locking up anybody, much less a black man. Especially for allegations that haven't even been proven. Let it get proven, and then you can say lock them up. But you don't even know if it's true. Right now, this girl sat back and saw Puffy made the biggest mistake. Even George Bush said that when George Bush was, see, I see these big names, I'm saying I bring everything in. You got George Bush that, you know, how did he do it? George Bush, what did George Bush do now? George Bush did some old fly stuff. I'm telling you, I just had it in my mind. You know, man, it's going to come back to me. But George Bush did something similar to that. Oh, George Bush said that, you know, they don't negotiate with terrorists. You know what I mean? When all that was going on. So he don't negotiate. You know what I mean? And we don't pay hostages. We don't pay for hostages. We don't do none of that. And because if you pay them one time, then everybody else is going to come and kidnap somebody and say that they're holding them hostage because they want this and they want that. You know, this is how that goes. So that's the same thing. Now, Puffy, you violated George Bush's rule by running and settling with Cassie. I know you didn't want it out in the media because 90 or 100% of that may have been true. You know what I mean? But if one part of that was true, that's all it took. And when they go parading all these people in to corroborate what she's saying, that she may be paying to come in and corroborate what she's saying, it's just going to demolish you. Look, they're already taking his clothes out of Macy's and out the big stores and all that. So here they go tearing down another black man. Look what they did to Bill Cosby. You understand what I'm saying? He got locked up for something that happened in 1972 after the prosecutor that investigated him at first said, you know, tell us everything and, you know, for the civil suit and we won't charge you. He told him everything for the civil suit. And after Bill Cosby told him everything for the civil suit, what happened, said, yeah, I put the drug in the drink, this and that, he thought it was over. And then a new prosecutor got elected in, and he said, nah, he admitted to this, this, and that. And they're like, no, but he admitted it to the other prosecutor, and that was an agreement, like Keefe D said that he got, you know, queen for a day, the prophet, and he could say whatever he want to say, and he could go, and then here you go, 20 years later, 15 years later, you get a new, you know, DA on the case, and he said, man, screw what y'all gave for the year and the day. So now everybody on YouTube is saying, yeah, he violated because he this and because he that. No, the prosecutor have the power to do what they want. The prosecutor have more power than the judge in the courtroom. You know, back when we was getting sentenced, to these draconian sentences doing life, getting life sentences. And, I know a dude got 6 life sentences in 800 years. How the hell you serve that? When they was giving out these sentences back in the day, you understand? When they was giving these sentences out back in the day, the judge would put on the record that I would like to help you, but my hands are tied because of the guidelines and the mandatory minimum. And the prosecutor controlled the guidelines and the mandatory minimum. That's why when I say that I respect Trump, and y'all say y'all like Trump because he let you out. No, what Trump did was, I like Trump because he stand on what he stand on. I don't agree with nothing he stands for. Let me say that. I don't agree with nothing that, none of his agendas. Let's get that right. None of them. You know what I mean? But I respect the fact that when his people put him in office, they put him in office, and certain things they asked him to do in order for them to vote for him. Then when he won and he got in, he honored these things that he agreed to do. But when other presidents get in, they try and be bipartisan, as they call it. That means everybody come together. Donald Trump showed them how to run Washington, and that's why the country's in the condition it's in now. Donald Trump told them straight up, screw the other party, worry about your voters. They the ones that put you in office. They the one gonna keep you in office, and they the one gonna vote, to keep, you relevant where you need to be in power. So forget the Democrats. Because the Democrats wasn't with us anyway. Forget the blacks because they didn't want to vote for us anyway. You know what I mean? This is how it was. But Donald Trump was about business, And that's what it is. Y'all don't like me talking about Donald Trump, so I'm not going to get too into it because put it in the comments. Put all your crap in the comments about what I'm saying. I want everything in the comments. I want all the smoke. You know what I mean? And I'm going to say it again. If you don't, let me get close to the camera. If you do not agree with what I'm saying, that means that you are sane. Because I'm twisted. I grew up during a whole nother era. Like I said, where we was running trains on females, it was normal and it was legal and it was all right and this and that. You know what I mean? Where mothers was telling daughters you could do this and you could do that. You know what I mean? Puffy settled so quick because it's bigger than him. And you see, Cassie didn't mention anything about him being the guy, because she would have been blacklisted. You understand what I'm saying? And they would have turned against him, So it's just crazy the way it is. I've been on here long enough. I just wanted to let y'all know that Puffy got another, SA suit against him. And Arron Hall caught up in this. They got Arron Hall statements from Vlad again that they're using. Big shout out and round of applause to Lord Jamal. Big shout out to Lord Jamal. All right, calm down. Calm down. Big shout out to Lord Jamal because Lord Jamal is the one that first put it out there about Vlad. Bottom line, you know what I mean? So I've been on here long enough. Make sure you like this video. Hit the subscribe button. Let me say it again. Hit the subscribe button. Well, I'm doing pretty good on the subscribe because I got 53% subscribe watching me and 47 that's not, subscribe watching me. So we need that 47% to drop down, you know what I mean, dramatically, because y'all like the content you hear. I'm here, you know what it is. All right? So now, like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and share the video at Diddy, at Arron Hall, at Gloria Velez, at George Bush, at every name you heard me mention in here so they can see this and know that, a gangster's speaking. Now, let me tap out. Cop the book of Roy and Harlem, man. All right.
Cheers. Toast the crime. Toast the crime. The crime. The crime. The crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, yeah. Heat back on the strip, getting back in the mix. Yeah. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom, dropped the book you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in Uptown. They be horn Uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in Uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the root men.